I cannot stand the way you look at me.
Hello everyone, welcome back. My planner 2026 journey continues. So I thought I would share with you what I actually just recently purchased and received. I was actually out traveling for work. I was in Vegas for a week, and then I was actually hello Lucy. I was actually in Hawaii, and then I received these items while I was actually gone. And when I got back on Friday, I was able to open them. And I did spend yesterday, which was Saturday, to kind of look through and kind of in my head figure out what my system would be. But I did want to share with you what I picked up. And this is what my second initial thought my system would be for 2026. So let's dive in. So you can see I have actually purchased the Jibun Techo, which I mentioned in one of the previous videos that I have purchased it and I used it in the past, and I also kind of want to revisit it. So I went ahead and bought the Jibun Techo for 2026. Lucy's not interested anymore. So yesterday I did unpack the A5 Slim. And the reason why I wanted the Jibun Techo is because it does have an A5 Slim, and they also have a B6 Slim. And I literally just got two of the same but different sizes, just so that I could figure out exactly what I wanted to do with my planning system. Now, as you guys know, I am actually using my Louise Carmen cover, which you guys also know I absolutely love and adore. And I went ahead and this is my current one, and this is the paper test. I went ahead and kind of see if it would fit and tucked this behind in one of the strings behind my 2025 paper test design. And you can see that the Jibun Techo with the cover, which is not a great deal of difference. There is a difference in height. So I was a little concerned if it would actually fit in my Louise Carmen, because my system's going to go, or it's going to revolve around fitting in this cover because I love it so much. And it does, with the cover and all. So it does have a plastic cover, and I think this is one of those, I want to say this collection is the Susu. It comes with this sticker, I want to say, like this. You'll see it's like has this little cat sticker and has like the 2026. So I got this one for this reason, because their covers are relatively basic and very boring. You can obviously take the plastic cover off, um, like this. You can take the black off, and then it'll just be white, and then you obviously can decorate them. But I kind of like this, and I thought this is a nice little change. I do like it with a plastic cover. I didn't have a plastic cover for this because I couldn't find an A5 plastic cover that I actually liked or fit. But I think Sterling Ink may now sell them. I don't know. So I didn't find one. So I never plastic covered this. Anyway, so this one is the Days. And I also got the A5 Business Edition, which is the weekly. So let's go over the Days. The Days is a little thick, and I know you guys know and have heard me say I am not a daily planner, but because work situation have kind of changed, it's more like I need that space as a daily log. Um, logging what I've done all day. So I just decided to pick up the A5 of it, and I would have the space to actually write my daily schedule. So this particular one has a cover, and it also has three like little card slots here, and you can actually tuck in decorations or little stickers and whatnot. And you have your 2026, your 2025, and then your 2027 year at a glance calendar. And you also have this overview calendar for 2026. I know a lot of people in the past have not favored the Jibun Techo because it was so colorful. The business one is a little bit more muted, but it does have a lot of extra things that I may or may not want to use. So I was thinking yesterday what I would do to actually cover these pages up, or if I would. So here's my dream. So in the 2026, it basically is like your life goals, like what your goal is for 2026. So finance, health and beauty, hobbies, leisure, travel, vacation, all that sort of stuff. So you can actually um, put your goals down here, and then you have actions to take. And then there are events. So anything like major events, I could log all the pen show events and all that sort of stuff here. And you can kind of divide these into um, columns if you want. So I thought this page was actually quite interesting. Kind of like the Hobonichi weeks, it has the 100 wish lists. You can do your wish list here if you want, or I don't know, you can use it, you can wipe that out and use it for something else. And then there's free list, which basically is a carryover of um, almost like this. You can do whatever you want with this page. And there's quite a bit of it. I do want to use one of these pages to log um, the dramas that I watch, whether it is Chinese drama or Turkish drama. It would be very interesting to see at the end of the year how many I've watched. And then you have your monthly. Now, the only thing I don't care about this planner is that it is all the months, and then you have your dailies or your weeklies. So the monthlies are all together, and then all your dailies or your monthlies are all together. I love my monthly, and then I have the corresponding weeks or the corresponding dailies. I'll have to make do with this particular one. And so this one has like a running to-do list, and then you have your habit tracker down here in the bottom. So anything that you want to track down at the bottom. So the dailies, not dailies, your monthly um, month on two page is a little bit shorter compared to, say, your um, monthly in, say, the business edition. And you can see that this has the trackers are not down here, but it's all the way up here. And I think partially is because this is a daily book. If they have the tracker on another page, it would just make this book really thick, because this book itself is pretty thick, in my opinion. Um, and that's probably why the monthly is a little bit condensed, and then you have your tracking down on the bottom condensed as well. So you have all that. I think people just didn't care for these colors, which I understand, but it is just a planner essentially. So my planners are very messy. This goes to I want to say February, yes. And this was actually very smart because you have January 2027 and 2027 February, and they will split it on a two-page, which would be a much smaller monthly. And this is a great as a pre-plan. So when you hit like November, December, and you need to carry around a 2027 to plan your January and February, I think this is really useful. Then you go into your dailies. They always have a dashboard like this the beginning of every month. And it basically has your monthly goals, what I want to do, what I don't want to do, month in a word. I mean, you can easily white these out, which I think I am going to white these out. And then people I've met, places I went, what I bought, just more like a recap for the year. And then you kind of go into your daily pages, which has your date. It also has a weather tracker right here. And you have this line from 1 all the way to 23. And that is basically your time grid. And then you can also use the left side of here with these little checkbox as your to-do list on here, and then your appointments on the side. I've seen people journal in this. I have seen people actually schedule their daily appointments or their daily work stuff or whatever is happening for themselves that day. It's like it's all laid out this way. I really like this. And I also really like the fact that it starts really early in the morning. So you have it from like, say, 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. and then till about 6 or 7. And then what's also really cool about this is that the reason why there's a shade of like almost red here, and then this is all like no color, and then here it's basically this is all sunrise during the day and this is sunset. So that's basically how they separate it. So essentially between 7 to 5, this column here or this side or this section here is your working, like awake time kind of thing. And then this is like either sleeping or you wake up, however way. I just thought that was really cool. And I remember using this back in, I want to say in 2018. And that was really fun. I did put these tabs in, but I'll talk about those later. And then you have your holidays are usually in red or Sundays, and then your regulars are gray, and then your weekends are either Saturdays are blue and your Sundays are red. And then when you have a full week, you'll see most of them are gray in color, unless it is a weekend, which would be blue and red, or it would be a public holiday like this in Japan. So just FYI. But I thought this would be really cool because I could log down exactly what I did every single day, because I have to log it into the work system. So this actually helps. And then this will help me monitor the time I'm actually in the office, or if I have calls and such, and see how much time I kind of spend. So that kind of goes through to December, goes through to the end of the year. So it's like just January to December. Then you just have a very handful of grid pages at the back, which is nice. And then at the back, you also have these like more like a recap, looking back on 2026, like things that happened, events, and you want to log what's happening with the world, which I have no intention of doing. So you have those. You don't have to use them. And then you have the back of your cover. And this cover also has a like little black pocket right here. With every one of these Jibun Techo, they always have one of these examples on how you use them or what they're intent for. So I did a Google Translate and I kind of wrote like what it says, because I don't know what it says. So this one has a mood, and so it says feeling, and then today or throughout. And then you have like future plans you can write up there, your schedules, your results, whatever, however way. So this is essentially like a Google Translate. So I took a photo of it. I went to Google Translate and translated this because I really wanted to see how they designed this planner to be used. So it comes with that. Um, and so this is the day version. I got the day versions because I wanted to start using dailies to log, as I mentioned earlier. And then I thought I could marry this with my paper test for 2026. Because the paper test is obviously like this, right, which we've seen. You have your timed as well for your weekly section. And then I thought, why not? Why wouldn't I just try and get this and then maybe have just both my Jibun Techos and use my Louise Carmen at the same time? And this, I could easily take this off if I want the black cover because I don't really care for it. And then I could just decorate the front of it, and then this would replace my paper tests. But you guys know I'm a planner hopper, so like by February, March, or even April, if I'm like not vibing with it, I'll get rid of it and then I'll go back to what I've tried and tested. So this one is the business version, which basically means it has less colors, and this, I think it's just more professional looking or has less stuff. But it does come with an example page. This is how this particular planner was designed to be used according to Kokuyo Jibun Techo. This is how, when they designed this planner, this is how it is to be used. And I also Googled translate this just to see what it's like, which I thought was very interesting. And I really appreciate this. So it's a really schedule planner, functional, and you have this. See how clean this is compared to even the first page. That, see how it's less colors, and then this is just a little cleaner. So the weekends, the Saturday kind of has a different blue. It's not like light blue like that. And then you have this, and you can see this better probably, that this is definitely more different. This bagel charm is not lying flat. Anyway, so you have that, and then you have, I hate this, I hate the age chart. So I probably will cover this with like the 2026 US holidays. And then you have your dream, and then you have like more of a financial planner with this particular one because it is a business. They say it's like for professional. So you have your budget. So I also Google translate that, so it's more like an expense tracker. You have a map of Japan. I don't know if I'm going to keep this, but we shall see. And then you have a template or a mock page where you could figure out how you want to use this. So this is like a testing page, which I also appreciate. I probably will write this with a pencil so I can erase it. And then you have your 100 wishes list page. Again, the colors are definitely a little bit more conservative and a little bit more professional. And instead they have a favorite phrases, sorry, recommended list, book list if you're a big book reader, movie list, um, gifts received, gifts given. A lot of these pages I probably won't use. And then your promise list, which I don't know what that's used for. And then you have these pages for like the free list. And then you go into your trackers. So your tracker, which I like, this one starts in December versus the daily starts in January 1st. Yes, it starts in January 1st. So you have your tracker for December 2025, and then you have your trackers for January 2026. And what I've managed to mess up in my previous Jibun Techo is that this is 2 lines. You can actually I mean, if your writing is huge, you can use this whole thing because it's 2 rows. But if you have a smaller writing, you can actually just use one, and then that's like one tracking bit. I sometimes just write whole thing, and then I'm like, I don't really need full grids to check off. So that's probably what I would do slightly different and more conscious, is that now that I've used it before, I know what this is like. And you have the trackers or habit tracking, whatever it may be. till the rest of the year until January 2027. Then you go into your monthly page, and you can see your monthly page is definitely a little bit more darker in print, and it's bigger because we don't have the trackers down the bottom of the month. You have trackers on the other page, so you have more space on the month on two page to have a running monthly to-do list. You have more space to actually play with. Now, you're probably thinking like, well, shouldn't you have this and this? What are you going to do? I probably won't use one of these, and I'll probably just use one of these if I'm going to combine these two books together. So one of these monthlies are not going to be in use. I like this one a lot because it has a lot more space, and I do like to work my monthly because I like to write my bills, my travels, my trips, or also my flight details on the monthly pages. And I like that this starts in December, and this will run all the way to January. Nope, it runs all the way to March 2027, which I love even more. And then you go into your weeklies, which, ideally I like them separated, but you can start this essentially the week of Thanksgiving. So the 24th of November would be the start of your first week in this planner, which I'm excited about. And this one separates the sunrise and sunset, so daytime and evening. So 5 o'clock, you can see that it's starting to be darker, which is 17 hour, and then goes to 24, and then here it starts with 0 and then 6. So I do get up early so I can actually start tracking what I want here. If you don't get up that early and your day really starts at 7 and ends at 5, this is perfect. But this is also really good to log like appointments and stuff. But I will use this to log my everything that I need to accomplish for the day. So this is a great weekly planner and overview. And then I would then refer to this side for my daily planning, just so that I could get my productivity up. I am one of those people who love pen to paper, so I feel like things are better when it's written down. So this goes all the way to January 2027, and then you have a handful of empty grid pages at the back, and then you have your year-end review here in the back as well, and some personal data, which I don't think I will be filling out. So that's my intention. That's my plan, is to have this in the back, which is my dailies, and then I'll have this in the front, which would be my weekly. So I'm going to start the year off by replacing this because I get to start this in November, and then if I don't like it by January, I can go back to my trusted paper tests and use that for 2026. And you can see I may take this plastic out though. It still fits my Honore A5 Slim, which is the medium. So it's pretty good. It's not sticking out too much, but if I take it out of the cover, it would be so much better. So that's that. So that's the A5 Slim. I went ahead and also picked up the the B6 Slim, because, I may have a size dilemma. So it's basically the same. This is the same as that, which we kind of talked about. And then this is also the same and as the one that's in the book. The only difference is that this is not the Susu collection or the Susu cover, because I just didn't want to get the same cover. But this has the same thing. It's just a more compact B5 size. Now, if Louise Carmen had made a B6 size, if Louise Carmen made a B6 cover, I probably would be in a B6 Slim. Honestly, I really love a B6 Slim because it's so compact. But this is just a smaller of the one that's in there. Now, will I use this or will I use it as a giveaway eventually? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I have no idea, to be quite honest. Ugh, I won't struggle with that right now. And then with the Jibun Techo, they also have these notebooks per se, but it's called Idea and Life books. So Idea is essentially just 2 books of grid. You are supposed to tuck it in the back and for you to just write any ideas, any like notes, whatnot. So it's essentially just a notebook. So I got that. And the life book is supposed to log your life. So it has things like, but you're supposed to keep this and like roll it over each year. It's almost like news between the age of 40 to 44. So you log them like every year. And you it's like a compact version of a the 5-year planner. So you have say 50 between the ages of 50 51. So January is 1 to 12. So you have your months and you basically have to log it in just a line. So in February, when you're the age 50, what happened in the news up to December, or family news, did somebody pass, did somebody give birth, world news, it's the same thing, something highlight that happened. So it's basically your life in one line. And I thought that was interesting. Will I use it? I'm not sure yet. But it definitely would put a little less stress on me from completing a full 5-year journal kind of thing. But I could actually put it there so that I could have something to write about. But we'll see. So these are all my Jibun Techo. I did pick up something else and I've already put it in this beautiful little urn that I have. I took it out of the cover and this actually came from Amazon Japan. And I wanted the Nolte 1181, I want to say, or 1180. And this is their replacement. I took it out of the cover because it would fit in this cover much better. So this is the Nolte 2193. I wanted something that is compact, and you can see it is pretty compact. And I was worried when I got it that it wouldn't fit in here. But once I took it out of the plastic, it would. And it's has like your January, February, March. You have your monthly, and then you have is just a weekly. So it's a great little and it's like this kind of weekly. So it's just a great little in the purse kind of thing. Um, maybe this could be a nice little alternate planner besides my weeks as a EDC. I don't know. So you could just, make your own thing or have a week of to do things. So I like that. This is all your monthly. This is how I like my planners. I like your month and then your weeks. And then all the September is together, all the October, and I actually really like these colors. So I just kept it this at like this, took the cover off. I probably will put stickers and stuff and decorate the front. And then this will just go in my bag. I think 2026 really is just testing different planners. I mean, God knows I have enough that I have purchased. But I thought that was super fun. Anyway, this video is getting way too long for me to ramble about my continued 2026 planner confusion. But I did wanted to share that I did pick up something new. And if you're not familiar with the Jibun Techo, highly recommend it. I've used it before, like I said, in 2018. And I've kind of gone back and forth with it. Oh, I did want to share that a couple of accessories I picked up for the Jibun Techo. I absolutely love Kokuyo's Jibun Techo tabs. So you have your full year of tabs, 1 to 12, and then you have things like your weekly plan, your yearly, all the other little stuff. And there's 2 sheets in here. And I only use the tabs, and I decided to tab the top of this for my um, daily, and then I will probably tab my um, this one on the side for my weekly. But I just thought love this. I've always loved this, and I've purchased this in the past for my other planners. So I think I'm going to keep doing that because I really, really like these tabs. And it's clear. And then this here, it's super cool because it basically say you hold here to pull it. And then here it's um, like there's gray, but there's like clear on the side, and you can see exactly where to put it. So it's very well thought out. Love it. And then I also thought I would get this, which is the Jibun Techo stencil. Um, I've had this before, and I'm just not very smart with stencils, so I thought I would try it again. But this is like A5 Slim, it's what I have, and then you have the B6 Slim, which is the mini, and these are like the size of the boxes, which I thought was very smart because each different planner size has different size boxes because obviously it's the size. So got this, and I am in love with this whole idea at the moment. So I do have, I think the only one that I have left that is coming is the Faded Chronicles B6, but I know for sure I'm going to destash that because I'm really happy with this. I'm happy with my paper test, I'm happy with my Hobonichi weeks, and I'm happy with my Jibun Techo right now. So anyway, enough talking, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.